Hello and welcome to a rather damp Nova Scotia, hence why I'm in my kitchen. I tried to start filming in the greenhouse and very noisy with the pitter-patter of the rain, so I thought I'd adjourn to the kitchen and I'm on one of the worktops. Mrs F is not particularly happy, obviously, with me doing a bit of gardening in the kitchen, but there we go. So today I thought I would pot up some tomato seedlings that I've got. I planted these about, what are we now? About a month ago actually, and they've come on nicely. As you can see, they are starting to get their true leaves, their first set of true leaves. I could leave them in here a bit longer, but this compost, or which is actually the leaf mold that I normally sow my seeds in, doesn't have a lot of nutrition, and once these have had a few weeks, they're going to start needing a bit of feeding now. So I thought I would pot them up, and it's easier to separate them when the seedlings are quite young and the roots haven't got too much of growth in there. So that's what I thought I would do. And I'm going to pop them straight up into these plastic cups. And obviously I'm trying not to use as much plastic as possible, hence why I use my wooden seed trays. But these are some old plastic cups from one of my boys' parties or something like that. And instead of throwing them away, I thought I'd reuse them as pots. So I've put some holes in the bottom, and these have got my own compost mix. So compost from the compost heap, a bit of leaf mould, and what else have I got in there? I think that's about it really. A little bit of sand just for some drainage. So that's easy enough. So all I'm going to do is take this, so let's get going with these seedlings anyway. So I've got some, what have I got in here? Roma, which is this side. Cherry Roma, I think these are. These were a good variety last year. And early treated hybrid, whatever that is. But they looked all right on the packet, so I thought I'd buy them. So there we go. And these are cherry tomatoes as well, actually. So when I am going to pot these up, to lever these out, all I'm going to do is I've got my little one of these lolly, or one of these sticks anyway, and I'm just going to leave it in there well away from the actual roots and hold it. So when you're holding seedlings, you probably know this already, but the usual routine, make sure you hold it by the leaves, not by the stem. And there we are. Now the thing with tomato seedlings, they have these furry bits all the way down the actual stem there. All the way down that stem can grow roots. So what that means is, when we're going to, or when I, in this particular instance, am going to pot these up, here's my dibber, nice little pen. I'm going to make a nice big deep hole, and I'm going to plant these all the way up near enough to the bottom leaves. So let's make this hole a little bit bigger. And I'll just use that to push it down a little bit further. And there we are. All the way down, as you can see. So that's got the chance now to grow roots all the way down that long stem, which is why I put them straight into this cup really. So really, I'm not actually, hopefully, going to have to pot this up again before I plant these out in early June, as soon as the last frosts are over. Or if I'm in my greenhouse, I'll probably be potting them up sometime in the middle of May into their final growing position. But let's do another one. Make sure we're all happy. So I'm going to make a nice big hole, nice deep hole. Let's get another one out. So we're holding it by its leaves. Get your little spade quite far away and just lever it up. There we go. So there we are. All of that can grow roots. So we want to get it in nice and deep, just like that. Job's a good one. Right, I am going to pot the rest of these up, and then when I'll come back and we'll finish up. Right, so there we go. I say pot them all up, but I only had so many pots inside here today. So they are all potted up nicely, as you can see. And have a little look there. Now, it's still only second week in April, so loads of chances of frost, especially here in Nova Scotia. Won't be planting them out till probably second week in June, depending on when the frost date and how sort of warm it is, etc. So even out in the greenhouse where they are now, I need to protect them, make sure they're covered at night if there are any sort of frosts forecast. Already spent a lot of time on these, so I don't want them to be wrecked. I watered all of this compost beforehand. I can give it another water, and that'll actually make the compost settle down a bit more, so I'll probably have to put a little bit more compost in. The other thing is, when I go to pot these up, and hopefully you'll follow me later on in June, rather when I go to plant them up, I'm still going to plant them down again, further down in the stem, so that they get a chance to grow even more roots. And obviously the more roots that grow, the more chance it has to suck up lots of nutrients and the water, etc. And hopefully the better tomatoes in yield they are going to produce. So I'm going to go out to the greenhouse myself now, because I don't mind a little pitter patter of rain, and put up the rest of these tomatoes. But that's a good start. Job is definitely a good one. Oh, hang on. Got to do my bit of marketing to plug my new book, The Optimistic Gardener. So this is The Optimistic Gardener, a gardener's journey through throat cancer. Obviously not the subject we want to talk about when we're talking about beets, but a couple of years ago I had throat cancer, and this is where I really felt that gardening helped me through the sometimes hideous ordeal of fighting through it. So there's my book, available on Amazon, The Optimistic Gardener. On Amazon, wherever you are, could be ca.com, .co.uk. It's available in Germany, Australia, all over the manor. Don't forget to get your copy.